Ready?
Hey, everybody.
Oh, hey. How's it going?
You.
This doesn't look normal, does it?
Trying something different.
Like my cardigan?
Yes.
It's fancy. We didn't record today's episode. Well, we recorded it, but we didn't
do the filming.
We didn't film it. This camera, like, I'm holding it as far as I can. It's still too close. Hey, you can see some stuff on our walls. Look at that. Ooh. Anyway, we didn't film today. So sorry. But
that's what you're getting.
But if you're on YouTube, you can listen to it. We're gonna film the next one, so don't worry about that.
Yeah.
There's a weird lag between me talking and what's on the camera. Do you
It'll
see
turn
that?
out fine. Yeah.
Sweet.
Weird.
All right. It is, right? Right.
Yeah, so we got our friend Melissa on, and it gets a little bit to not safe for work territory, but we try to navigate the waters a little bit professionally.
I blame Melissa, and I hope she sees this and she knows that. So without any further ado, here is the episode, and we'll see you soon. Bye. Hey, Joe, test it up.
Hey, I'm here.
Yeah, that's good. Melissa.
Hi.
Okay, that'll work.
Okay.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi. Hi.
Idaho.
Oh, no.
Welcome to my part of town. I was watching this thing about the Amish earlier.
Okay.
And,
You can't. Crunch ice.
Crunch and ice.
Okay. Start again.
I was watching this video about the Amish, this guy that used to be Amish.
Yeah.
And so he wrote and filmed what they used to do, and his parents used to be Amish, and they got out of it.
Okay.
And his dad used to be a minister. But each individual, like, he's like, yeah, no. They interviewed his dad, and he's like, yeah, I used to be Amish. And I was raised in, like, Indiana, and then we moved to Missouri, then we moved to Michigan, then we moved back to Indiana during his childhood. And this is what got him thinking, is like, I don't get it. Where if he lived in the Amish community, for like his own Amish community,
right,
for his whole life, he would have been fine. But what he found was that he moved around a little bit, and each community has a different set of rules on what you can do and not do. So some people allow bikes, and you can ride bikes. Others, they don't allow bikes. And like lanterns, they had the gas Coleman lanterns with the match that you got to do. It's like some allowed that, and others thought that was, nope, we're not doing that. Wow. And so he's like, I don't know how to live anymore, because like, how is it that I lived here and I was okay, but then over here it's like frowned upon, sort of thing. But yeah, it was interesting because like his mom was saying, like, I grew up and I was like, my parents went for a trip and I went to the barn. I'm like, I want to build them something cool, like a gift, And she built a porch swing, like with the chains and everything, and it, and
is that allowed?
And so she did it all and everything, and it looked really nice.
Yeah.
And then she hung it up, and like, hey, look. And then her dad was just like staring at her, like, what? It's like, we don't allow porch swings. Like, that's not allowed.
Is that?
Yeah.
What?
It's like, it's good. You built it well. We will sell it for money, but in this community, we're not. So she was growing up.
Why can't you have a fucking
so
porch
sad.
swing?
I don't know. That's what she's like. I was never told. She was getting in trouble with rules that like she had no idea were rules.
It's fucking
so like
weird.
The women had like these kind of scarfy looking thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you would pin it in the back. You were only allowed to have one pin. If you had more than one pin, that was a no-no.
You better lose some weight.
Or whatever it is. Yeah, I don't know. But she's like, okay, so a friend of hers noticed she had 2 pins and then went to the bishop to complain and kind of reprimanded her.
Yeah.
And then she's like, well, why didn't she just tell me, hey, like she could have came to me and said, hey, you can only have 1 pin, instead of go to the bishop and then get in trouble for it.
Yeah.
So they wound up getting out of it, but it's like, wow, they don't allow porch swings. Nuts.
So
like,
weird.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what else I don't get?
What's up?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the opposite of important. My name is Lance. Over here we have
Joe.
and over there we have
Melissa.
Ooh.
Yes, there's a threesome today.
Yes, it's the best.
Don't tell the wife or the husband.
Yeah.
Joe can do whatever the fuck he wants.
I guess. There we go.
Get it.
This isn't Joe's first threesome.
Nah.
He was just yesterday telling me about his threesome last week.
Right.
Please continue that story.
I know. So then an elephant and a giraffe walk in.
Oh no, it's
And
the
then-
wrong kind.
Oh, whoops.
Gah.
And a midget.
And it was a twist. You can't say that anymore.
Little person.
Yes,
Right.
correct. Or you could just say Warwick Davis.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Or who was Mini-Me? Who was that?
Vern Troyer.
Vern Troyer,
Also
yeah.
dead.
Yeah. But Warwick isn't dead.
No, I thought he did. No.
No, I don't think so.
All right, never
I
mind.
don't think so.
Don't worry about it.
Because he did a thing. Wow.
Jesus.
He did a thing in
Forbes magazine.
Solo, I think.
Oh, okay.
Now, did he also do something in episode 9? Is that a thing? Maybe he did.
Episode no.
Episode.
He is still alive.
Oh, okay. I thought he was dead. Someone was
He's
dead.
50.
Was someone
Yeah.
dead? 50?
I mean, honestly, Joe, a lot of people are dead. So,
Accurate.
why are you drinking when I'm talking to you?
Because I'm thirsty.
Oh my God.
I'm not talking.
This is a professional podcast.
It's going to be a long threesome, so he
Ladies
needs to be
and
hydrated.
gentlemen.
Yeah.
See, I'm a little disturbed that Melissa isn't letting this threesome thing go. I feel like she's jonesing.
She's sitting there in her Christmas pajamas.
Mm-hmm.
Just
True.
put some pants on.
So we are not we're not doing a video for
The
today's
lingerie
episode.
was discounted.
We just did I need everybody to shut up. Who isn't me? We just recorded a thing for Facebook. We did a Facebook Live thing. We were testing it out. And we did a video thing for that, and it was all hooked up, and it was fancy and stuff. So we came in here. We were going to do another episode, record it for you. And I thought, hey, let's not do cameras because that's a lot of work.
Yes.
But if you're listening, then that doesn't affect you, and we will all continue living our lives.
We're here.
And go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good grief, googly moogly. We were talking about Dave Chapelle earlier.
We were.
Yeah.
Yes.
You told me to hold my tongue.
Well, yes, I did say that. I said something to the effect of, don't talk about this when we're not recording it.
See?
Because I thought that it was a valid conversation that people might be interested in.
Yeah.
And where did it all start? What were we talking about? Oh, you were discussing how interesting that Dave has gotten to the point where people just...
It's long
it's
form.
not even necessarily, and it is long form, but not even always necessarily stand up.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what, people tune in for now with him on these specials.
Yeah.
And
it's turned into social commentary.
Yeah.
Comics do that anyway.
Yeah.
Just what's funny in life, and then they just twist it.
Now, we were doing some comparison, and I said
Yes.
that that's kind of what Bill Cosby kind of turned into.
Yeah.
Amidst all the rape.
Just take it
So
out.
there's that.
Yeah.
Ugh. Take it out of the mix.
He did bad things. Cosby did a bad thing.
Yes. Hey.
Cosby did a bad thing.
But-
Who sang that song? It was Chris Isaac,
Sure.
right?
Okay.
Echo. Play the song Bad Thing by Chris Isaac. I want to see if this is a thing.
Baby Did a Bad Thing by Chris Isaac.
I was
on
right.
Amazon Music.
I was right. Just pretend like he's saying Cosby. Cosby did a bad thing. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Cosby.
I did a bad thing.
Cosby.
Okay.
Echo stop. I think we all get the point.
Sounds very close to ZZ Top. But
Okay.
Yeah.
You almost around.
But then he also sang, and I'm not sure if it was before or played on knowing the ZZ Top lyrics. There you go. Now sing the lyrics to Double Back.
What?
That was in Back to the Future 3.
No, I can't
Not
do
very popular, but it was still, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, it's just
Thank you, Joe.
Frisbee.
Thank you. It's Frisbee, far out.
What?
Chris Isaac also sang the song Wicked Game that everybody knows.
Do I know that?
You do.
Okay.
You just don't know that you know it.
All right. That's one of those things. That's my whole life.
It's got the twangy guitar. And then Yeah. I don't want to fall in love. Yeah.
All right,
What a
okay.
wicked thing to do to make me dream of you. No, I don't want to fall in love.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what it is.
Oh, that one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's my Melissa impression.
There you go. That's your next. That's your
It's when
karaoke song.
Ross and Rachel are hooking up on a juice
ooh.
box.
Mm.
For those of you that are Friends fans,
Ooh.
there you go.
Ah.
And she thought it wasn't a juice box.
Nope.
She thought it was something else. Which leads me to believe that she had very little experience with men in the past.
There you go.
Well,
Because
Just poking
there's-
around.
you
like
had the
there's-
one loser,
Capri
right?
Sun.
There's not that much. I don't want to get into too many details here because I know we've got a lot of kids listening.
Yeah, right.
There's not that
That's
much.
our target demographic.
Yeah.
Weird.
All these kids going up, Mom, I want to listen to Chris Isaac.
Okay.
Nora. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Dave
Cosby,
Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle, yeah. I would just tune in to watch him just talk. He doesn't even need to be funny.
Yeah.
And I think it's because so many people have grown to respect his opinion
yeah.
on things, right?
It's one of those things where his comedy's changed a little bit, because
Yeah.
of that. And I don't know if it's good.
I think so.
I think it is, but like when you come up in comedy and you had said something, it's like Barack, where like
Well,
anything
yeah.
Barack
So
says, but-
I was likening him. At first I said Cosby, and then I remembered how rapey he was, and then I also was thinking how people would probably let's say, although it's not billed as stand up, people
Yeah.
think of Dave Chappelle, they think of stand up. But if you were to get on Netflix and see that there was a quote special, it doesn't say stand up anywhere, but
Yeah.
it's just Barack talking to
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
I feel like almost just as many people would tune in to that.
Yeah. As a politician, you just talk, and you have the license to kind of have as much time as you need.
Right.
Versus when you're a comic, you get like when you're first starting, it's like you got 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you got to like punch it. So if
Yeah.
you rewind Dave Chappelle like 10 years or so, his comedy was more punchy
Yeah.
because it kind of needed to be, And now it's like long
And
form.
and a higher octave.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, right? It was. Hey, man. It's like,
Yeah.
jeez. I think I was seeing something where he was like 32 or something like that, or
Yeah.
like early 30s when he had Chappelle Show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, I'm so close to that right now. Where I'm just like, really?
You're kind of in the same spot, like professionally.
Right? Yeah. So I have so many followers. Oh my God. But like, yeah, it's nuts to think like I'm about his age when he had Chappelle shows.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Speaking of followers,
Hey, man.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
And I need to know when the last time you did a cartwheel
Oh, I
on
haven't.
Instagram
A year ago?
Because how many
Yeah.
how many posts did you make on that? Joe
or
made
three.
so he has his Instagram,
Yeah,
but then he made another Instagram that is just the camera set up places, and he
Yeah.
would do a cartwheel in front of said place.
So it's called, my handle is called Wheel of Cart.
I like it.
Here we go.
So
Work of cart. Sorry. Work_of_cart.
a full cartwheel, not like a tumble.
No, it's legit. I have 2 posts, and one was a year ago with last year's Christmas tree uptown.
Yeah. How many followers did you get?
I have 5 followers.
I was beating women
I-
off of the area before,
What did you just say?
Well, I had to take them down
Oh, okay.
when I was coming in.
Okay.
So I lost my glasses on that one. So there's the tree.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I'm like, whoop. And
That's
my
funny.
Oh, that is a very good cartwheel.
Yeah, and
I
then-
can't do that.
I filmed it.
The other one in
so
front of Time Out.
No big deal.
Whoop.
Pretty sure
Perfect.
I filmed that one.
Just cartwheels.
Is that in your commercial?
That should be.
It's in the commercial of
We'll
my
work
I
life.
think when you do your 3-year thank you to your clients,
I'm
that
not.
would be good.
I'm not gonna thank him for shit.
My stomach's
Okay.
hanging out.
So
yeah, I
that's
need to
just
find
me.
another cool spot to do one, but then I
I
have to.
honestly thought you had way more than 2.
Well,
I
I
thought
well-
that you did it quite a bit more than that.
It got to winter, and then I was like, shoot, where do you go? I can go anywhere.
The bathtub.
The bat. Ooh, that'd be hilarious to somehow
terrible
try.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
God.
Oh, it's a bad idea.
I gotta find some. I
Joe
don't
did
know.
a bad thing.
It's hard because then like I had to prop up the camera on the kiosk that's uptown by the tree.
Yeah.
So that one got tricky. And then I had to line up the video.
Uh-huh.
The other one was easier because you just filmed it
Right.
like, here. And you're like, I know what I'm doing.
Uh-huh.
Great.
It's not my first time.
I got I can do a left. So like I can't do a cartwheel to the right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but I'm always more comfortable
To the right.
to the left.
To the right.
Yeah. To the
Now
right.
dip, baby, dip.
I said hip hop.
I'm sorry. It's my bad.
I need more places to do one. Get some
Yeah.
more content going.
I was just wondering. It just kind of faded. When was the last time you thought about that? Did I just remind you for the first time in like a year?
I have it, but I just, lots unfolded.
You haven't
in the
thought
last
about that
2
in at least 40 months.
Well, yeah, I
Wait,
need to.
That might be longer than I think.
Oh, maybe
it
I
is.
can.
Yeah.
Maybe one of these days when the theater has like the marquee lights
Yeah.
on.
That'd be fun.
That'd be kind of cool. But then, shit, how far back do I got to be
I don't know.
without being in traffic? I mean, I just need a buddy. I just need a buddy to do it.
I
But
know
if
a guy.
If I'm alone, that's the harder part because I'm like, do I put it up on my car and like try to,
Right.
I
Right.
don't know, but it could potentially take off. And one night we were doing cartwheels in timeout, like right before close, for some
Who's
fucking
we?
me and like a couple regulars at the time.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe I want to say Liz. Or
I don't know.
somewhere around that group. And you had said something. You're like, I bet you would get like 1 million followers if you just did cartwheels, like Instagram, just cartwheels. And I'm like, oh, okay.
I bet you would.
Yeah, so,
But you stopped after 2 posts.
I know, but I can get it going again.
Most people are going to be looking for more content, which is why we do this as often as we
See?
do.
And
I
I have to limber up. I found out that.
we are now up to no less than 900,000 followers.
Thank you, each and every one of you. We're going to start reading from the top of the list, and here we go.
Melissa, have you seen our Patreon? It's fancy.
What? No.
Did you know that we had a Patreon?
I did not.
So we made a Patreon, so we put extra episodes there. It's fancy. We need to put, there's a video going up there shortly.
Okay.
I haven't done it yet. We may or may not have filmed it. It's just not there yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a little thing happening called Christmas. So I've been busy. All right.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Anyway, here's what I'm saying. You put a Chappelle special and an Obama special right next to each other. It's going to be pretty even.
Yeah. I
Pretty
think so.
even.
And
most of them will be
with
liberals.
David Letterman. Yeah. Yeah. And David
That's true.
Letterman has
Yeah.
interviewed both of them.
Dude, I can't wait for Letterman to put some more stuff out. I love watching his stuff. It's so
Yeah.
fun. I miss having him on every night of the week.
Yeah.
And I remember when it was wrapping up and getting towards the end, like I was trying to take it all in, but it's like you can't. He needs to do what Conan did, but I don't know if he can because of the network. So what Conan did is he's been putting out all of this old content. I was under the impression that they made it sound like he was going to be putting out full episodes. Now, I haven't seen full episodes, but I've seen clips here and there, like the classic Conan, whatever they call it. But man, wouldn't that be so much fun to just go back and watch old episodes? I would even be willing if somebody, just some random fucking person, like remember I found somebody online a long time back. They were selling all of their REM VHS tapes, like all of the tapes that went out for the fan club. There was some bootleg stuff from concerts that were filmed, and I just bought a whole bunch of them from one dude that was selling them. If there was a dude out there that just recorded shows with commercials of the old Late Show, I would totally buy that.
That would be cool.
Just to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've got the old TV in there with the VCR built into it. I'd be set. I would love to sit down and just watch those beginning to end, and especially with commercials.
Yeah. For that time.
Yeah.
Like,
It's been really interesting
tough.
editing videos for people because I do it myself. I transfer VHS and old any type of tape for people, but then I do it for a business that's in Ames. And it's really interesting to see the different types of content that comes back. Everybody that brings in a big stack of tapes, at least 1 or 2 of those tapes is something that's just from TV, or it's funny because there's been a couple of them where they say, oh, this is such and such dance or like a prom video, and then I put it in and somebody recorded over it with some like a fucking football game, and I feel so bad.
Like,
Like they're gonna find out from me that no, it's not on there.
Sorry.
This Iowa State game, I guess, was more important.
Well, at least it wasn't a wedding video.
But
I know
right,
someone that
right,
did that, though.
that recorded over the wedding.
Yeah,
That
it was,
sucks.
and it was Letterman
Because
too.
when it's done, it's done. Oh, really?
Yeah, he was saying like, well, I'm just glad I've been with my wife for as long as I have. And boy, is she forgiving. But man, I mean, I was back in the day. I was getting excited over who was on Letterman, and
Yeah.
I was scrambling to find the tape to
Yep.
grab the wrong one. It's
Oh,
like,
no. That's why you bust off the tab, man.
Yeah, it's like,
bust it off so it won't let you record onto it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then everyone knows the tape trick.
Did you know that? Did you know
I
that
did
trick?
not know that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
VHS tapes would have this little tab on there that when you put the tape into the VCR, if this little button or whatever would go into there, then it knows not to allow you to record onto this. Like if
Yeah.
it was let's say you bought and like the Matrix on VHS or whatever in 1999, it would not allow you to do that. And I'm not entirely sure if it was related, but then there was a whole other thing that was for the copyright that would then, if you tried to dub
Yeah.
a professional movie, a studio movie to another blank tape,
Yeah.
there was another thing. But it was surprising what they were able to do with
for
VHS
analog
tapes. Yeah.
because we tried.
So, but then if you didn't give a shit about that tape, should I tell this? Yeah, I can tell this story. This is funny. So, I'll get to it. But anyway, when that tab was off, then what you could do, like Joe was saying, is you could take just Scotch tape, and as long as it was thick enough,
Yeah.
then you could record over anything you wanted to. Now, one day, I went to my friend Jared's house.
From Subway?
And we go way back.
Oh.
We don't talk too much anymore. I haven't heard from him in a minute.
weird.
But he was doing so well, and
Yeah.
then I didn't hear from him for a
Just
while.
Lost all this weight and lost a lot more.
But I had I went over there with a fresh VHS copy of UHF.
yes.
And like I spent like $35 on this VHS because I had to buy it through. You couldn't just order shit from Walmart back
No,
then,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I had to buy it through one of the video place. I forget what it was called, but
Radio
basically,
Shack?
no. It was It was the
Tandem tapes.
Remember, there used to be a place called the Video Place that was like located in Casey's around here and whatever. You could go in there and rent movies.
Yeah, yeah.
But this one wasn't called the Video Place. It was another, nobody cares, whatever. Anyway, so I go to this video rental place and I say, hey, I want to buy this movie. It's the same place that I ended up getting Raw, Eddie Murphy Raw,
Oh, funny.
because I had to buy it. But it was like $40 to buy it through them because not only do they have to pay for it, but then they want to make some money off of it as well. It was stupid.
'Cause
But
they
anyway,
really
I got
did
it.
it. Yeah.
I'm not gonna cry over money spent in
That's
1990, whatever.
That's odd because I wouldn't think to go to a rental place and be like, what are my options to buy?
At one point, I found out that was a thing because I think I went in looking for a certain movie, and maybe it was one of the Eddie Murphy stand-up things, and they're like, well, we don't carry it because this was a tiny fucking store.
Oh, sure.
It was actually kitty corner from where the old Time Out was.
Oh,
But it
okay.
was just a tiny store for a video store. And so I think that might have been the first one that I bought was Eddie Murphy Raw there. But then I found out that I could get UHF through it because
okay.
it's not like you could find it on a VHS or
No.
DVD in the store. This might have been a year or two pre DVDs as well. So anyway, I get this tape. I take it over to Jared's house. I'm pretty sure I wanted to watch it, but most likely I was the only one of the two of us that wanted to
Yeah,
watch it. So
like,
I'm
it's
not
weird
sure.
now.
I'm not sure that we ever did. However, later that night, Jared introduces me to his satellite on his TV because they lived out in the country.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think that he was shown this, but he found out that his dad subscribed to some crazy 24-hour porn channel. and I so the satellite was set up it was so old.
Oh,
like
the big ones?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
technology
Yeah.
where you would put in like coordinates, and I'm pretty sure I'm remembering this correctly because I think I was determined to find it every time I would go back over to his
Like,
house.
yes!
Nice.
But I think it was like you would type in like T4 or something like that, and it would rotate the satellite, and then you would just be watching a bunch of people doing it
And like,
on
sweet,
TV.
There you go.
And I was just
Surprise.
like, this is a thing that like it's being broadcast on your TV. It blew my mind.
Nuts.
It was crazy. And I was so taken aback by it. I was thinking to myself, I have to preserve this moment forever in time. And so I asked Jared, I need a blank tape. Do you have one?
It's like, no.
And yeah, he probably said, "Why would you want to derp a derp? Why would you want to record this or whatever?" It's like we can just watch a little bit now. And I'm like, you don't understand. I don't have 24-hour access
Right?
to boobs.
I need
so I found some Scotch tape, and I couldn't part with my UHF movie, but at the end of every VHS tape, there's always some space after the credits.
You're right.
So I fast forwarded to the credits, the very end, and I recorded like 6 minutes
You're horrible.
of
Just
this
enough.
porn
That's all you need.
channel.
Do you still have it?
I don't
Oh,
think
that'd be hilarious.
so.
Oh no, that'd be hilarious if you. Just
It
kinda
would
forgot.
be so funny if I still had it, but it was like 6 minutes. But I remember I had to have been like 16 or something like that. But I remember taking this tape home, and it felt like I had committed some sort of crime, and I remember thinking somehow my parents are gonna know to look at the end of the credits on this Weird Al VHS tape.
right.
So I felt I think at some point later on, it got so in my head. Like I that must have been the time that my anxiety that I still have just kicked into overdrive.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point shortly after that, I went back and recorded over it
Like,
because
own it.
I was so worried
never
that
know.
somebody
Yeah.
was gonna find it.
Because someone's thought process was like, let's watch this movie.
I had it for a while.
That was
Well, that's the thought process.
This
I'm
is
like,
great, and
somebody's gonna come over and be like, "Oh, let's watch UHF. I love this movie," which nobody
one
said
says.
ever.
Yeah.
None of my friends ever said it.
Yeah.
My parents certainly didn't give a shit.
Right.
But
But
I,
then at the end, it wraps up, and then
yeah,
But
I
that could
had.
have been the perfect new ending for a Weird Al movie.
Yeah. Oh boy, he's so family. He's
I
just
should tweet him.
turning.
You know,
it
if he
around.
knew you had done that,
Oh my goodness.
it's sad you didn't keep it.
The next time I meet him, that could be the story that I tell him.
Yeah. Hey, I used to record porn on your video. Like, what?
I need more time to build up
Yeah.
to it.
Oh.
When you sum it up so quickly,
Yeah. I was like,
it's not as exciting.
It happened too fast.
But
Ew.
well, I was 16, so
Everything happened.
yeah.
fast.
Anyway, I feel like it's about time for a break.
Nuts.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, this is gonna be a short one. We'll come back.
It's always a short one.
Yeah. Ah, sad. So we're back. Anyway, that was my story.
Yeah.
About that. I can't remember the length of time that it was on that tape, but in my head, it felt like forever, but also not very long
Right. It's
at
like,
all
oh my God.
because I got so paranoid.
porn,
about it.
Porn.
Yeah.
Mm. I was a big fan. You know, I
Why wouldn't
feel
you be?
I'm still a big fan.
Yeah. Why not? It's like,
It's one of those things that always changes, but
It's all the same.
never goes away.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know.
So anyway, that I hope you enjoyed that story.
Yeah.
You learned something about me. I don't think that I ever told anybody that story.
oh yeah, right on.
Ever.
Yeah.
Do
I
you
had a-
feel special?
I had a buddy that like his parents had like softcore or something. We went over.
Dude.
We went over to like their house for like
Yeah.
New Year's, and we're watching movies and then flipping. And he knew it.
So it was like Cinemax?
No, it was like legit porn, but it was just like softcore.
Softcore.
And he was just flipping through. He's like, "Hey, what's on this?" And we're like,
But
all
usually,
watching it.
softcore isn't so
Hardcore. No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's like moving furniture from like the waist up.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of T, not as much A.
No. Yeah, correct.
Definitely no D or V.
Yeah, no.
Right.
It was hot enough.
Right.
It's just
That's
like,
all. Sometimes
all right.
that's all you need.
Yeah. Right.
That I think was and I had only seen a couple of examples, but that seemed to be what would be available at like hotels.
Right.
I remember when I worked at the Baymont Inn, it was kind of funny the system that they had that would, like, if somebody was in their room and they would order one of those videos, which they all had ridiculous names,
Yeah.
like ridiculous names. They would enter in a thing on their remote. It would come to the desk, and then we would need to go in and input on this separate computer that would then send the feed to their TV. So we would know, like, it wasn't even all through the computer, so we wouldn't see it. We knew exactly what was happening when they were watching it and all of that.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of
Man,
weird.
hotels are something else, man.
Yeah.
But
Speaking of hotels and porn,
Yes.
you got, girl.
well, like a
you
month
have
ago,
my attention.
Tell us more.
well, a month ago, Ryan and I decided to go to Adventureland and
Yay.
get out of the house, not be in our own place, whatever. And so our friend Natalie joins us. You saw the photos because we had that orgy that
Joe,
night.
we were right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Totally.
yes. So we're all in the pool. We decided to move over to the hot tub, and
Good God, we were so right.
Yeah.
right, and I was telling Natalie about how when Ryan and I moved in together, we had combined all of our DVDs and VHSs and whatever else, and we had found this pirate porn tape. And it was something that his friend had given him as a joke,
Did it have booty in the name?
probably. But I thought it was really funny, and so I was telling Natalie about it. And I wasn't really paying attention to, there was other families and people who were in the hot tub too, but it's like I wasn't going into detail. And that was pretty much where the story left off. And then we started talking about like Pretty Woman or something. And, as that conversation would progress.
Right.
And then, some people get out of the hot tub and we've realized we don't have any of the bubbles on our end and we want to feel the jets.
Yes.
And it's like we didn't come down here for the night and spent this money not to enjoy it. So we moved down, and this mother, she turns and she looks over at us and she's like, actually, could you move away because we came over to this area because you were talking about porn in front of our 14-year-old daughter.
Oh my gosh. She doesn't know? Okay.
And oh my God, the shame. I was so like
was the shame
mortified and embarrassed because it was just the weirdest thing. It's like you listened to 2 minutes of our conversation and just decided we are the dirtiest people in this whole hotel and that we need to move away and be as far from you as possible.
So you're saying that you felt shame?
Yes.
Or you were? I would go the other direction, and
like,
not
hey.
not only that, would I say shame on her? I'd double down
And be
on
like,
the talk.
all right. Here's my room number, lady.
If you already think about me like this, well, buckle up.
Here we go.
I know.
Here it goes.
And I wish I had turned to her and just said, hey, polygamy's not for everybody.
Aw.
But, that was an afterthought.
Yeah.
And,
You always come up with better stuff
I
later.
know.
right.
That's how
Yeah.
it goes.
Yeah. So, no, we moved back over to our corner and we didn't get our jets. And mumble, mumble.
Boo. Did you rent all the porn up in that room?
Totally.
So all you did was bring up that tape that you found,
yes.
and that was it.
Yeah.
There was a porno that was like, it was like Pirates of the Caribbean, but it
What is
wasn't.
this episode turning into?
I don't know.
What did I start?
There was a porno that was like Pirates of the Caribbean, but it
Yeah.
wasn't,
it's
and it was
always-
like super expensive, and they
Yeah.
put a bunch of production. So apparently, like my brother had mentioned, was something like, oh, hey, there's like this new Pirates movie, and like, and so oh, sure, come on over, and they made food, and they're like, well, let's pop it in, and then it's like, yeah, then it got to the part where like this part it was unfolding, and everyone's like, nah, this isn't the right.
Oh my god! Wait, so you thought it was some sort of Pirates sequel?
I wasn't there. I wasn't there.
Who
but,
bought it? Who bought it?
It was like a friend of my brother's, and it's like they were out of
they
were
knew.
out of college.
No, they knew what
Okay.
was up.
I don't know, but
There's no way you don't see it on the front cover or the back cover.
I don't know.
I remember seeing it's like every big franchise they will try to tackle
You're right. You're
like
right.
that. And one of the ones that sticks in my mind, I saw it years ago. I didn't see the video, but I saw the cover in some shop somewhere. And are you okay?
Yeah,
It
that was
like
gurgly. Sorry, you didn't hear that.
I'm not sure what store it was, but maybe it might have been at Romantics across the street
Sure.
from. But anyway, it was a Ghostbusters parody.
Nope.
And I wanted to know how they did it.
Yeah.
Something
Like what
strange.
did these?
It's my penis.
Well,
Nutbusters.
aw, sad.
Nutbusters.
You ruined the song.
Oh,
Aw.
not Buster.
That's not what it was.
No?
It was more.
That's gross.
It had more tact than that.
Oh, yeah.
It had more. Because if you put that much time and effort into something, first of all, who's watching these? You know what I mean?
Probably
Like
not,
that
yeah.
that you're so interested in the production.
Right?
It's got to be such a small percentage of pervs
They're like,
that don't.
That's
like,
not right.
Like I'm just not buying the story because of the amount of money that they put into that
We
CG.
could probably pop into the lion's den and we'll find
yeah.
those pervs there.
I've never been into a lion's den. We
I'd have
stopped at one, I think, one time because we had a member of our family that just turned 21. And so we like stopped and took a picture outside.
like,
Or wait, is it 18 or is it 21?
18.
18. So then she would have been 18.
Yeah.
But but so we stopped and just took like a funny picture outside. But I've never been in one. So
and you go to
Yeah.
Minnesota all the time.
Yeah.
You pass that.
There's one up there. There's one.
and then there's one that when you head to
Cedar
Iowa
Rapids
City
or some shit?
I think.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
I've just never been in one.
Yeah.
I can only imagine it's just a more extravagant version of what is across the street from the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I mean, I feel like they have a better variety.
Do they?
Yeah.
Go on.
Well, I mean, you've got a good amount of
Do
lingerie.
they have
Yeah.
nutbusters?
Totally. I mean, I would say that a lot of the people who probably work at the lumberyard or other places tend to pick up their lingerie there
Ah.
That makes sense.
and other outfits.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I've never been in one.
We've been to a ton in Chicago when we went to Chicago. Like, we were just walking around. We went to Wrigley and got some photos, and then we're like, hey, we should find a.
That's right.
Yeah, like, let's go find
I
a
forgot
yeah.
about that.
So, like, we were just walking around, and we're like, let's go find a karaoke bar. And, we weren't really in a rush, but on the way, there's like 3-4 shops in a block radius.
Right.
Like, fuck it.
Wow.
And there
I
was-
forgot
yeah.
about that.
There was one that was like
That's
2
crazy.
levels.
Yeah.
And some woman,
yeah.
she was like putting
God,
stuff up on the rack.
I have a shit memory.
Yeah, I hit record all the time. It's weird.
Wow.
But yeah, she was like putting stuff up on the rack. It was like leather, and
Yep.
she's like, "Oh, hey, how you guys doing? Hey," and he's like, "Definitely not getting turned on right now." It's just like, hey. "Oh no, these are some cool things." It's so nonchalant.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so.
Yeah.
I think I'm
There's like
starting.
a double.
Yeah, I'm
and there's
starting
like the
to remember
whips.
that now.
There's like whips and chains. And
Yes.
it was so
When-
something.
they, yeah.
And then we went to another one where it's just a dude in the back. And we were just talking to him about like, well, how's business? And he's like, well, everyone's going digital now. And well, what about Blu-ray? I mean, Blu-rays are selling, but it's just the internet. And it's just,
Yeah.
And then there was like a topless, real looking doll or statue.
Yeah.
It was like silicone. It looked fucking realistic.
Oh, it wasn't like a mannequin.
It was like a mannequin.
It was
or
like
something.
it was like one of those real dolls.
Yeah, or something in the corner.
Okay.
And then you whipped out your phone and you got away with a pic.
Did I?
You did. Very, very
Was that
quickly.
on this phone?
Could have been, but
How long ago was this trip?
3 years ago? Like
Because
right after.
It's cool that dude,
Right after.
dude, you need to get an iPhone.
I do.
Because you can browse by where you were.
Yeah.
So you keep talking.
This was
I'm
about
gonna
3
look
years
and see
ago.
if I have this.
And
Okay,
there's a big
Chicago.
ass sign that says no photos, you know? And I didn't say anything. I was just like, whatever, let's see if we can get this. And you snap the photo and like, I mean, like there was no audio to it because sometimes your phone can make the little camera sound, you know? I see your phone and it went click, you know, like there's no audio, but I saw that it captured.
Oh, funny.
And then like the guy was like, "Hey, no photos." And, sorry, yeah, totally. I understand. You know?
That's hilarious.
Like, and then we sent it to like Lars or something like that.
I mean that does sound like me. So I don't have it in here. It must have been in our old my old phone.
Yeah, it would have been
Because-
fall of 17,
Oh yeah, I didn't have this
yeah.
phone then.
October, November,
Oh,
somewhere
I
around there.
need to find that. That
Yeah.
would be hilarious. Oh man.
Yeah, fall of
great.
17. Yeah, yeah.
When Lars and I were in New York back in 13, I think it was 13. From our hotel, we would walk. It was almost like 2 doors down from our hotel, heading towards the Broadway district
Yeah.
and Times Square and whatnot. There was a storefront, and all it said was DVD. And like that was the name of the store was DVD, but it wasn't. It like there was no sign up above.
It's like wink, wink.
Yeah,
It's
and it
like-
just says DVD. So we went in there.
Yeah.
And it was like I don't even know how to describe it. It was like 75% bootleg weird
Ooh,
porn.
Oh boy.
But then also like maybe some, bumpy asses 19
Yeah,
or
there you
something.
Yeah, yeah.
And
James Bondage. That
there
sounds like
you
it.
go. James Bondage 14
Yeah.
is what it would have been
Yes,
because
yeah.
they never have the original one.
Right.
But there was some twisted shit on these
Ugh.
covers, and there was like no names. It was just printed screenshots of what was in the video.
Ugh.
So we would always make jokes about this fucking DVD. Like, let's go to DVD, see what they got. It was weird.
It was nuts to like Family Video had a porn section.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, like in West
Yeah.
Ames.
Family Video did.
It was sizable.
Oh, I
Yeah.
did see the adult section.
But it's
Okay.
like, what the fuck,
Well,
man? Like,
and Lion's Den is kind of like that. You have to go through curtains, but I never go back there because I've actually never seen porn.
all right. Well, tonight's
Well,
tonight.
give me
That
here.
is not
Hold
on
up.
my list.
Hold up.
I'm not
Oh,
asking to
it's,
see it.
It's actually pretty
I
easy to
don't
find.
need to
No?
see
I
it.
can.
It's like,
I am happy not seeing.
ah,
I don't. Why would you not? Why you got to check it out?
I have an imagination. Why do I need that?
That's not true. That's not true. There's things in these videos that nobody can imagine.
that's fair. That's fair. Curiosity.
Like.
Never.
Okay, you're telling me you haven't seen anything? Nothing.
Unless you count Game of Thrones,
No, I don't.
then no.
You've never seen anything like tasteful, like Joe's previously mentioned softcore, Cinemax.
There you go.
Nothing.
Lifetime's probably the closest thing.
That's
Lifetime. Ah.
Here's all right. Okay. First of all, I don't believe you. No. I think that this is impossible.
How is it impossible?
It's
How do you
20
not-
it's 2020. You know how many people go to on Google and type in like softball glove that they want to buy, and you just click something and it takes you
Did you
straight to
mean-
a porn site.
Okay. I was, math is not my strong suit. And so I was trying to find a good tip calculator online. And you can imagine the website that took me to. Mm-hmm. But I closed out of it instantly.
Tip calculator 25.
Ugh. Hey, there you go. I'm your
I don't know
accountant.
what it was.
Like
That's fair.
I remember in high school, for whatever government class that we had, social studies, I don't know what the fuck you called it. I didn't pay attention.
Right.
You would go to the library or you'd be in the library or the computer lab, and they'd say, "Do not go to whitehouse.com."
I remember that.
Do not.
I remember that. I was in middle school.
It is whitehouse.gov.
Yeah. It's like, oh.
Like, why? What's here?
And we're like, oh,
Oh.
that was in middle school. And then I went to a buddy's house. He's like, hey, I heard about this thing. And I'm like, okay. And then we looked it up. We're like, oh, all right.
You would go to that, and then you'd go straight to hamster dance.
Right? No.
Nice. Okay, I did read a porn magazine once.
Yeah. What was it?
Was it
Penthouse?
just? It was
I
just
don't
for
even know
the.
what it was.
Just for the article?
No,
Just
no.
for
There
the
was. It was my
articles.
sister's roommate. I had a huge crush on him, and I thought I was doing something nice by cleaning his bedroom for him.
Yeah.
And
You
then
could have cleaned something else for him.
He would offer no, but anyway, I found that magazine in his room,
Okay.
and I was just like, okay, why do you guys look at this? And so I decided to.
Like you really didn't know.
I mean, I just wanted to see it. Was it even that great or attractive or enticing? And I didn't find it to be any of those.
Well, you were probably looking at the wrong magazine for you.
Okay.
Am I right?
Well, yeah.
Because, I mean, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From a girl's perspective. And then,
What year would this
Yeah.
have been?
2006.
yeah.
2006.
Okay. That would.
Okay. Because, I mean, 2006 though. Man,
Yeah.
it like especially now. It's like why magazines?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When everybody has a phone or a computer or whatever. But it's interesting that they're still around. When did Playboy stop? Because that was a thing, right?
They're still going.
Or they came back.
They came back.
So
Well,
they or
they-
no, or
there
they
was-
stopped doing the photos.
You know,
They
it's probably
stopped-
like Maxim.
Yeah,
they stopped doing nude photos, but then they came back and started doing it again.
because people stopped buying.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Playboy's like super collectible, and like
Right.
people like put those issues up, and like for some reason they hold value versus other publications. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's just kind of a weird.
I have one.
yeah,
I have one because myself and a friend, we were out in Vegas, and there's a Playboy store out there.
Yeah,
And when we were walking by, and one of the models that was in the most current issue was in the store signing them.
Oh, cool.
And what's even stranger about this
Like, hey, there's cinnamon. How you
is that
like,
forget what her name was. But in that magazine, her and this other girl were posing for these pictures as the female version of Doc and Marty in Back to the Future.
Like, yes. There you go.
That was the issue.
Mm-hmm.
And so I felt like, well, I have to buy this.
Duh.
And so she signed it for me.
Yes, that's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the only one that I have. But
Nice.
I've known people that I mean, this is when I was younger. So their parents were the ones that collected them. Well, dad was the one that
Yeah.
collected them. And they had old ones going back to into the 80s
Yeah.
and probably some before that. I remember being shown the old Madonna one that
Yeah,
she
yeah.
was in. With I think all of hers were in black and white.
That's right.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah.
But that's the only one that I have. I mean, the internet's been around.
2006 was still kind of not everyone had internet quite yet. I still
Yeah,
had
maybe,
dial-up.
maybe.
I didn't have wireless until like, college.
All right, I'll let
So
this
it
one
was like
slide.
it was dicey, man. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Here's the thing, though. Melissa's a liar. I can see it in her eyes. She's got like this addiction that
I grew up
she just can't feed it.
And like a
enough.
religious, I mean,
Yeah.
my family's not religious, but well, they are now. Not back then.
Yeah.
But I
What-
went
What caused the change
for me, them, what?
for them to not be? We'll get back to the other thing, but I want to know. I assumed that they were always religious. So what caused that? That's not typically a thing. Like I know it
turn
happens
yeah.
for some people. Like maybe things are going so rough, and then so that's the one place you can turn to make it feel like you
Have
are a
control.
part of something or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, no, it would be like giving up control, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Right. I think, there's just a lot going on. And my dad hated the church for the longest time because my grandma, she got really duped into the church and just giving all of her money away to them. And they had even convinced her that she should divorce my grandpa. And she did.
Wow.
Ooh.
That sounds like a personal
Yeah,
thing.
not a church
like,
thing.
Well, like somebody in the church was like, nah, don't be with that person. Be with
Cut him
Me.
loose.
Yeah, because he was not a man of God. They didn't feel it was appropriate for her to be with him.
Oh, that's.
But the thing was, it's like they had 4 kids together, so
Wow.
too little, too late.
Well,
but the divorce happened after my dad graduated high school.
another notch for the church.
Right, there you go.
There you go.
Right.
Just keeping it up.
God.
Wow.
Yeah,
So that's why, because your parents didn't show it to you.
porn.
Yes. because they didn't.
Despite
I still found it on my own.
Despite not being as religious while I was young, they were still very conservative.
Okay.
I mean, I did find some of my dad's collection, but that's a conversation for another time.
Okay. I'm excited.
Right?
Let's have him on. Come on.
Let's call him up.
Hey, Dad.
We were just talking about on this podcast.
Right?
You still have
He's
those?
retired now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, so he has more time. Great. Great.
No, I
Oh
just
God.
I grew up reading all of the Christian novels that were just like, don't even lay down and next to your boyfriend and all of that. So why would I?
Booze fast.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. A little different.
So yeah,
Wow. That's crazy.
porn was not on my radar.
Well, me either. All these things I said were completely fabricated.
Weird.
And I'm pretty straight laced.
There you go.
You know,
Right.
I've never seen it. Actually, we adopted all of our children.
Yep.
So I've actually never even seen a woman naked.
Nope.
I'm still not buying it, Melissa.
Yeah.
I feel like something ain't adding up. That's like Joe telling me he's never seen a stand-up comedy special.
Right? Not at all. Nope. What's that?
I just came up with
So-
all of this on my own.
Wait. Are you saying that I'm like a hidden sex worker of sorts?
Well, not a worker, but enthusiast. I don't know. It's just hard for me to believe that anybody really. I mean, I'm sure that some people in my life, friends or family, that you obviously don't want to think about it too much because it gets to a weird place. But just out of curiosity,
Right?
would check things because it's everywhere, and that's all that
Yeah. You watch the videos at school where it's like the graphics of
What class was this?
it wasn't a class, but like every year
okay.
you had like the talk where all the
Oh,
boys
right.
and they watch the same video.
Yeah. Right.
And then it shows like this is what girls go through once a month, and then you see a graphic, and then I don't know, curiosity.
That's
when
what
you're
piqued, that's what piqued Joe's interest. He was like, I need to learn more about this.
I mean. Yeah, I had a doctor. The local doctor would come in and draw how this is how a woman gets pregnant.
Well,
like, all right,
I could be wrong, and I certainly don't want to speak for everyone that has a penis, but when you are of a certain age and your hormones are trying to take the wheel, and if you don't know what it is, like if you don't figure out what it is that you need to do with those feelings and thoughts, it's almost like one way or another it's a necessity. Now, as far as the kids out there that are seeing these things and thinking that it's the actions in some of these videos are the way that it should be in real life, that's a whole other story. But as when it comes to a teenage boy, I feel like that could repress a lot of things and cause more damage if you don't have something like that. I mean, think about, this is going to get to a weird dark
An
place,
outlet.
but think about like incels and the fact that they can't get anything from anybody, and it just turns them into crazy people because nobody wants to have sex with them, or so if you don't have some sort of outlet, I feel like, and the thing is that it's way more acceptable now than it's socially acceptable than it used to be, and I think the internet did have a big part in that,
Right.
and kind of desensitizing the world.
right. And you
it.
see it way more in movies and TV.
Oh, for sure.
It's just
Yeah.
kind of
And I'm sure you've
yeah.
seen, we've all seen movies that get a little
Yeah.
hot and heavy, and
Yeah.
some more so than others. And then, you would see in like Game of Thrones, they would, and
Like,
HBO, they would try to step it up a
Yeah.
little bit,
Like-
and make it equal for both genders
like,
as
okay.
much as possible.
Yeah, yeah.
So you would see more there than you would maybe in the average movie, because they would try to step
Sure.
it. I guess it depends on what movie it was.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So do you feel weird about if you're not exposed to it? Do you feel weird about porn, like that it exists, or what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, I'm mixed because I've seen some friends who are extremely hurt by it, and so they take it personal if their spouses are watching it, because then they think that they're not doing enough in the bedroom.
Okay. I mean, I guess it could be either way. That could be true.
Yeah, that's one angle.
But it also could be maybe the guy needs more than what they feel like that their partner wants to do. I feel like maybe that
There's
just
that.
needs to be a conversation
yeah.
that they would have. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I don't know, because
And sometimes it's just like convenience.
Yeah. Like, hey, you're not around. I need this.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
yeah, I don't know. My big concern is, like you had mentioned earlier, unrealistic expectations.
Yeah, you need to
There's
know
that.
you need to know what's real and what's
it's entertainment.
not.
It's not real life.
right.
So
Right.
yeah, you're gonna get the big old bazongas.
Yeah,
and
but
like,
yeah,
I
and
haven't
then I
heard that
also
word
just
in a long
think,
time.
yeah, and then another concern is like lack of creativity. If you're relying on some porno to show you what you need to be doing sexually, then
Yeah.
You know.
No, it definitely shouldn't be a learning tool
no,
at
it's
all.
entertainment.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
some I'd use entertainment
I
in
think
there
that- I
for-
think that's the
for
problem.
some of it. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not real. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, like,
no, you definitely need some sort of education in what is acceptable
Yeah.
and not. And I mean, it's the same thing goes for, like, right now I'm catching up on season 7 of Ray Donovan. It's
Ah,
a
yeah,
Showtime show, and it's fucking fantastic. But if I watch like 3 episodes in a row, I feel like shit because of what these characters are like. You know, and you need to be able to separate your personal life from these things.
You're right.
And porn can be easily addictive. So
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, I understand those concerns, but I guess that's never been a factor for me. So people need to be able to handle it, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
different from person to person.
Well, and sex is way different for guys than it is girls a lot of times. Not always, but it's kind of a thing that I wonder the percentage of women. This is not how this episode was supposed to go. I wonder the
This is
percentage
fun.
of women out there versus men, let's say from 25. Let's say like 25 to 55. Like, that's a big gap.
Yeah.
The percentage of women that feel like they need sex versus men, because men, or basically the climax, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That sensation, that feeling, because I'm led to believe that it's way lower than dudes. And I know what it's like for me. And I don't know. I don't know that, and based on everything that I've seen in interviews and on TV and in articles that people talk about this stuff, it's just more of a thing that dudes have to deal with. Now, that doesn't mean that it can't affect women,
Right.
You know, and I'm sure that it is a thing for some, but percentage wise, it's got to be way lower, right?
Could be way lower or just lower.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel like it's
'Cause,
way
like,
lower.
I don't know about way lower, but just lower.
If only we had a woman in the room.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like,
Well,
Speak for all of them.
because like, you know how many people are in the world, and you divide it up by gender or sex, then
Yeah.
there's gonna be those personalities or people who you match it up, and both of you want to do it all the time, or one of you kind of like, I'm not feeling it. It's just, I don't know. There's,
what I will say is most often women are the givers.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so if we don't get the chance to climax, so be it.
Right. But for women in general, like percentage wise, based on your knowledge of like women that you know and are friends with or whatever, I would assume that you're old enough, you're confident
talk
enough to
about
talk
it.
about this stuff. How often is it that you feel like it's something that you actually need? Like that your body is telling you that you need this thing? Because that's what men have to go through. Is like you physically need that release. Otherwise, it's bad news.
It's like, yeah,
And it can alter your
thought process
attitude.
and attitude.
Yeah,
and,
it can change everything.
God,
Yeah, I don't know. I think the desire is there. I think we might have a better ability to distract ourselves in other ways.
Yeah.
And I think another thing is having, porn. I don't know if it'd be as successful. And I'm sure there's probably a lot of women who love porn.
Mm-hmm.
Given that I haven't seen it, I don't know how much emotional attachment is shown. But I feel like that's something that I would need to see.
I think it depends on the video. I think they exist where there's more of an emotional attachment, but more so it's turned into categories. What will get you to that point? You know, you can go to this area for redheads. You can go to
or whatever.
this area for, you know, more mature people, and that could be, you know, guys or girls in either direction. And you know, there was a who was it that was on they were on Stern. Was it Sarah Silverman was talking about her preferred style that she likes to watch, and apparently she went on Stern and kind of talked about it openly, and she said it's not a very common thing. And she said that she liked to watch guys go solo, like on themselves, and with I can't remember if it was like a fleshlight or whatever. What is happening to our podcast?
don't know.
But
we're keeping it cool.
this all started with UHF.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my God. So she said that she had made that like proclamation that was something that she was interested in, but then apparently some dude out there
Oh no.
saw that interview, made his own video, and at the end, like while he was climaxing, shouted out her name.
There you go.
And so the next time she was on Stern, which was recently, they talked about that and played the audio from that video.
There you go.
And she was
Getting some hits.
She was just like, I didn't know what to think.
It's like, oh, weird. That's very meta.
It was very
Wow.
It was hilarious. But I don't know. I feel like people are more open to talk about these things now because it's something that everybody has to deal with. Even we're back to another episode of Podcast Talking Podcasts. It was Kevin Smith with his what's the one with Jason Mewes? His podcast with Jason Jay and Silent Bob Get Old.
Yeah.
He talks about they talk about sex all the time, but he was talking about how back when you're younger, it's like taboo. You don't talk about these things, and especially when he was growing up, and I remember when I was growing up, you wouldn't talk about this stuff with your friends, you know, in your first experiences with masturbation and all of, you wouldn't talk about it. But then at some point, as time goes on, it becomes more acceptable for you to be able to discuss these things with your friend. And it depends on the friend too.
Yeah.
You maybe have somebody that
Like
it
who's
wouldn't
more
be
mature about
cool.
it, who's not, you know.
But yeah, I mean, the way that I see it, it's a fact of life, and everybody goes through the exact same thing. So why would you not be able to talk about it? And I think that's, with that being more socially acceptable, that's the reason why a lot of porn sites out there and things like that are more socially acceptable. Not for everybody. You know, I get that 100%. And for those of you that aren't very accepting of it, I apologize that you've been listening to this for over an hour.
Who knew, man? It's crazy. That's awesome.
But yeah, I don't know. Where was I going with that? I forget. What was I talking about before? I started talking about the whole Sarah Silverman thing.
Whoop.
Yeah. But that was, I thought that was hilarious. The fact that she just put it out there. She was like, it's such a,
Well,
it's
people
such,
want it.
well, the way that she described it was the keywords that she would put in were so peculiar that it would only pop up with like 6 videos. And then all of a sudden one day there was a brand new video that responded to those keywords. But it's because she said something on Howard
Like,
Stern.
ha, ha, ha.
It was so weird.
Yeah, you were talking about people like
It's dedication.
need versus
Yeah.
just kind of a want.
Oh yeah.
Or whatever.
For me personally, I mean, I know that my need is much greater than my wife. It doesn't affect her one way or another. Now, it was different when she was trying to get pregnant and that's a hormonal thing as well. And that's the way it's supposed to be. But for guys, like there's been times in my life, and I've said this to friends too, I wish that there was a way to just turn it off, you know, but it's just your biology and you can't do anything about it. You're just kind of stuck with it.
Yeah. You're like on
And-
Hulk mode and like, God damn it.
Yeah.
I don't
It's not great.
No.
I would prefer to, if it's easier for the other sex, I think that I would prefer to be more like that. But because
So-
ultimately it's just distracting.
Is
Right.
it
Yeah.
like walking around with an electric charge and you're just like,
There can be, it's like, I don't know, and it becomes kind of just like a part of you. And I don't know the best way to describe it. And I don't even focus on that that's what I might need. But if it's been a certain amount of time, and I couldn't even put like a day mark on it or whatever, but if it's been a certain amount of time, I'll just catch myself being extremely irritable. And, you know, you'll just be carrying on with all
Yeah.
of your day-to-day things. And I think that
Just this-
I've heard a lot of people talk about that there's a threshold that if you, I don't know if it's dabbling in celibacy or whatever, but once they've passed that threshold, they say that they can be more focused on things and their tasks and not be thinking about sex once you've gone so long without it. But I'll make a statement here and now. I'm not okay with that.
It's too much.
I don't want to go into those withdrawals.
Right.
So that's just me. Just saying.
Rough.
Yeah. So I don't know. I understand that this person is not in the room, but has Ryan ever said anything to you about how it affects him or anything like that?
no.
No, nothing. He might be one of the rare ones
There you go.
because I mean Joe's on Pornhub every day, every day. Joe, nobody should be on Pornhub every day.
It's my background wallpaper.
That
Nice.
was a joke, by the
Every
way.
day. Yes.
Nobody should have champagne every day.
Every day. Right.
Anyway, what did we not talk about that could get people to log on faster?
Wow.
Oh man, it's weird. That's why I'm gonna say something that's ridiculous, but maybe it's not. That's when people bring up the fact that maybe, you know, people always talk about the world and us, and if it's a simulation or if we were like created by like an alien race or whatever. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, if their goal was to get us to reproduce, then
We're
the
doing
stuff
just
that they put in the human race in order to make them crave having sex, and it was just us that was lucky enough to come up with the idea of contraception.
Right.
You know, that like they were onto something because you find something that feels good and that you have something in your body telling you that you need, and it's like this force pushing you towards that, and it boils down to like even attraction as well. You know, you can't explain where it comes from. It's just there. Like what makes me attracted to this type of person versus this type of person? Like this one over here, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing for me.
This
But
person-
over
yeah.
here, like I actively would try to turn away from, but it's like, oh my God, this person.
Like,
you know?
fuck. Why are you
You
so
know what
flattering?
I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just so there's so much stuff that isn't explained.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that as I've gotten older and I became so frustrated with just my like sex drive in general. It's just it just made me angry.
You
Right?
know what
I
I
know.
think it is?
What?
When it comes to sex drive and men and women, I think it's because women are still purely focused on survival. And it weighs heavy. And it's hard to want to jump somebody if you're that stressed out all the time.
Right.
So whereas like men, it's like they can go out, they find their jobs, they're providing. Like, I can't tell you how many secretarial roles I've been stuck in that would not provide me enough income to pay the bills as, much as I would need them.
Yeah.
So I think once women can be comfortable enough and feel financially stable and not have all of those stressors and have everything riding on them, then they're willing to ride others. Then they'll be,
I get it.
Yeah.
Also, I like the wordplay.
Yeah.
there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Well played. That makes sense to me. Yeah, I get that. Joe, final thoughts on all of this not safe for work
Right.
discussion.
It was a good discussion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you guys learned some things.
Right. This is the time of our
So
life.
if you happen to live in the 1900s and you only have
An ankle to work with.
a professionally produced VHS tape, but you find yourself in your friend's house with Telstar 4 playing on the TV, you know what to do. Grab the Scotch tape
Pop it in.
and get 6 minutes of some of the raunchiest stuff that you've ever seen in your entire life, because that's what it was.
Yeah.
It was unlike anything I had seen before.
Like, wow.
It was a lot of flesh colors on that TV screen
Yikes.
in full frame. Oh my goodness.
I know.
What else? What else do we got? We can't end talking about that stuff, right?
Ah.
I've been talking too much.
I mean, you mentioned Cosby sweaters. It made me think of Christmas sweaters. We
you
could
go.
bring it around to the holiday.
There you go.
Let's make this a holiday ending.
There you go.
Oh my God, I forgot. We've been doing so many episodes about Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
Sugar cookie.
I blame you, Melissa.
Yeah.
What?
I blame we never talked about any of this stuff until you showed up. Oh
you know
my
what?
God.
No.
Different
you
energy.
save these conversations for me.
Yeah. Specifically.
I have no answers for this.
That's fair.
Anyway, I think we're done.
All right.
I think this is the end of the episode. I hope you stuck around.
Who knows? It was just kind of, yeah.
Go hit up the Lion's Den.
Yeah, this is
Find some Christmas
Lion's
stocking
Den.
stuffers.
Are they a sponsor?
We'll ask nicely.
We'll check them out. We'll be like, hey, listen to this episode. Let us
Hey,
know if
there
you
we
want to
go.
be a sponsor of our podcast.
Anal Pleasure Month coming up.
We'll drive. Is that a thing?
Oh, yeah.
What?
It is. They tried to give me a card to come back for that.
Oh, the Lion's Den did?
Yeah.
Wow.
I did not.
How many times have you been in the Lion's Den?
Maybe
Sounds
4
weird
times.
when you say it like that. Ugh.
Not a ton of times, but
I'm going to the Lion's Den tonight.
Grr.
That's why they did it.
Yeah.
Like, let's go to the Lion's Den.
Oh, okay.
I can't think of any other good names for a shop. We should have paid attention to the names of those shops
Yeah.
that we went into in Chicago.
Yeah. I'm not sure it was really that important because all you need is a neon sign that says like adult.
Or DVD.
Yeah. This is like, all right. It's like-
There's really no question what is in that store.
how about
right?
UHF?
UHF. No, I can't do that to it. I can't do that to Al.
nah.
God. I want to get the official movie poster.
That'd be cool.
Of UHF. I
Yeah.
think that'd be fun to have.
Yeah.
They had one at one of the concerts that we went to, and I think it was even signed by him, but it was crazy money.
Yeah.
I couldn't get that.
believe
So I need to buy it cheaper and then just meet him again.
Yeah.
And save a little cash.
That would work. Yeah.
I really feel bad that I did that to that. Like it could have been any tape.
Yeah,
you know, but
right.
that just so happened to be the one
That
that
you
I
had.
took
Could have
out
been-
to Jared's house.
Should have been Beauty and the Beast.
Oh man.
Ooh. That
Beauty
took a turn.
and the Beast.
Hey.
Tale as old as time.
I wish I could remember how long I had that on the end of that tape. I felt like it was an eternity, but like every day I would go to school and think somebody's gonna find that tape.
Right,
and I don't even know why I would be in trouble. But that's the thing. When you're a teenager, you're just like, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble if I have this. I did something wrong, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's totally normal. But that's the whole.
Yeah.
I'm just angry.
Grr.
Hey, this has been the opposite of important.
Thanks for listening.
And I feel like now we've definitely lived up to that name.
Good cry.
We will talk to you soon, everyone. Have a good one. Bye-bye.